All right, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, everybody. We are the Offside Zone. I'm Richie, your host. We are here with the crew. We got Toby, Oswald, and Sam. This will be the first episode of our second season, so we're just going to jump right in. So the first question is, was the World Cup rigged? Going to let Sam start with this question.
I mean, we heard Van Gaal come out and say that it was set up for Argentina and Messi. Honestly, I can look at from his perspective, and when you look at the draw that Argentina got, it did seem like it was the easier side of the bracket that they were on than as opposed to like, a France. You had France, England, Portugal, Spain on the other side. But the amount of penalties that Argentina got in the World Cup was kind of just like ridiculous. I don't think any team has ever got that many penalties in one tournament. And I mean, they needed every one of those. So like, I mean, I could see where he's coming from with the whole rig thing, but at the same time, hard to tournament like that. But I think there's a case to be made based on the amount of penalties Argentina got, seemingly like favorable calls, and then also the draw that they got. They seem to be in a favorable side of the bracket, and they didn't really have to play. I think until the final, they didn't really play any of the top teams. So yeah, there's something to that, I would say.
All right, Oswald.
The fact that you're quoting a coach like Van Gaal for saying that they set it up for Argentina, to make that game rigged, that tournament rigged for them, makes no sense to me because if it was rigged, why didn't they beat them? Why
They
didn't
won the
why didn't
tournament.
why didn't Netherlands beat them? I'm just saying though. I'm just saying, as a player, when I was watching those games, right, those penalties were real penalties, though. They were not no rigged. None of them were rigged penalties. They were actual penalties. No diving, and we have VAR just to make sure that those players were not actually diving or they weren't giving out soft calls. And VAR helps us a lot nowadays. So, the fact that people are complaining about Argentina, winning that tournament, they made it easy for them. I think most of them are just very dumb. Honestly, the tournament was won fair and square. That's just my opinion. If it was anybody else in that same position, like a big team like France, if they were playing that same group bracket, they would have said it was rigged too. And if they won the final, no one would have said anything, right?
I mean, to be fair though, some of those penalties were soft though. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, I'm
Some
sorry.
of them were soft.
I
Some
can't
of them
agree.
were legit, but some of them were soft though.
I'm sorry. I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that. It was one fair and square. That's all.
All right, Toby.
Man, newsflash, it was rigged. Like the writers were at their job that day because the script was scripting. When I tell you the script of that movie, that blockbuster we called the World Cup last December was a thriller at best. Like one of
Academy
the
Award.
best Academy Award winners. They deserve Emmys for the actors that was on that field that day because every single game that we watched was some type of historical comeback. Like it could have been on ESPN 30 for 30, bro. Like let's not cap here when we sit here and look at all the scripted moves and all the scripted penalties and calls that were made during that World Cup. And if we're specifically talking about Argentina, how many penalties that Pessi got and made surprisingly made. Like, bro, first off, they lost to Saudi Arabia off Bucks. That, come on, you have to. You something is going on there. I'm sorry, something is going on there. They lost to Saudi Arabia. They say, "Oh my God, they can't come back in this World Cup. It's too much of a mountain to climb." They go on a whole run throughout the whole World Cup, just beating people with comebacks from left and right. And you're opening your face to say it's not rigged. I'm sorry, but I know Van Gaal has a serious grudge against Messi, but he might be on to something because when we sit here and we dial into some of these games, bro, especially that Netherlands game, like some of the calls, man, they were really going against Netherlands, and they did everything they could, fair and square, to come back in that game. And guess what happened, bro?
It went
The
down to penalties.
ref. No. The ref stood in, said, "Hey, these guys they're making too much of a comeback. Messi about to lose this. He about to mess up the script." And they started calling these fouls. In fact, there was a handball that Messi was supposed to get carded on. You know what the ref said? He said he's Ray Charles for the day. He was blind. He was blind, bro. So I don't want to hear that there wasn't some ounce of scripted or some type of favor inside some of those games. And we don't like to see it in sports. And obviously, this is just opinion. This isn't like factual or anything. Nothing's been proven. But like all the sports that we watch, bro, sometimes we forget that this is an entertainment sport. There might be a little, biasness in some of the calls and some of the things that we see on these televisions. So, yeah, I don't think it was all the way rigged, but it was definitely a little bit of rigging in there. Let's be honest. Mbappe versus Messi in the final. Comeback
Messi
hat
ends
tricks.
up with the
Come on.
It was a fairy tale story, honestly.
Come on.
Like, you couldn't have wrote it better.
Come on.
Although defend your claim.
I'm sorry, but what? Come on, man. Listen, the fact that you mentioned Van Gaal already has an issue with Messi. He's already pretty much blind. He doesn't care he didn't care about what Messi had to do on that World Cup. He was already hating from the start.
To be honest, he was the most.
That's the truth.
He was the most prominent person to say something about it, but I mean, everybody and a
Was
lot
thinking that.
A lot of other people were saying it.
Me.
Bro, like Toby said, that's like a whole blockbuster, man. I'm like, you couldn't write a better sports movie than that.
Come on.
Even the penalty that Mbappe got, bro. And then look, he scored a nice wonder goal. Then he scored a penalty. I'm like, bro, what is going on here, bro? We got two of the best people that the next year. In fact, we're gonna get on later on in the show, but Mbappe is one of the best players in the world, and so is Messi. So if I'm writing the script for this FIFA tournament, I'm like, hey, we in Saudi Arabia. I mean, this is a Saudi. You feel me? This isn't. Oh, sorry, Qatar for the first time. Man, how can we get this money value in here? In fact, Messi's the biggest player in the world. Let's get Saudi Arabia to beat Messi the first game. Voila. Now it's a fairy tale story. Now we seen the triumphant Messi come out of nowhere, back to back man of the match games. Just clawing his Argentina team that, don't drop the ball, even though Romero is one of the most questionable defenders in world football right now. But some of these players on here, they're just being seen as world class to the point where some people on the team, we don't even know, we're like, dang, these guys are playing like 9 out of 10s every week for their club. They are shining, just busting everybody in the world with comeback. This. They're talking about this is one of the greatest World Cup teams of all time. Just to get to the final, beat a young, prominent France team with all the star-studded cast that they have. Mbappe does what he does, and then they go back and forth with the goals to get to penalties at the end. Then an unsung hero right back wins it all, and Messi that misses penalties scores all his penalties. I'm sorry. It's fake. It's fake news. Fake news. It's fake news, bro. And it's okay. It's okay.
If anything, you're talking about a script, right? The way the brackets was set up, it was supposed to be Argentina versus scripted. It was supposed to be Argentina versus Portugal in the finals.
Yes.
right? That's what everybody wanted.
Yes. And you know what happened? You know what?
Got
You know
kicked
who
out.
messed up that script, bro? You know who messed up that script?
Portugal. They messed
Portugal
up.
coach. That man Santos. He said, hey, I didn't get the memo of the script. He put Ronaldo
And you
on
want
the
to blame
bench.
him for that?
It's true. That's why he got fired. He put Ronaldo on the bench, and then literally 2 seconds later, they're out the tournament. The script is over. It's done. Now they got to move on to the next best thing. We're talking about Mbappe versus Messi at this point. Come on, dog.
Yeah, that man
Santos.
He messed with the script, bro. You can't mess with the script.
You can't mess with the script, bro. As soon as he messed the script, look, Ronaldo was crying after that. Those were some movie tears. He was crying because he knew that he would have had his situation handled with him versus Messi in the final if Santos didn't mess it up. Next thing you know, who gets fired from Portugal? Santos. Guess who's starting right now for Portugal? Ronaldo. Okay, then.
That man has so much. Ronaldo has so much influence in Portugal that even.
So why Santos mess up the script?
Ronaldo. He's not the same Ronaldo anymore.
Because he messed up the script,
Ronaldo's
man.
not the same Ronaldo anymore. He is finished.
What do you mean he's not the same Ronaldo? I know
He is not. I'm sorry.
I know this is a part of a topic, but what do you mean he's not the same Ronaldo?
He's not as active on the field as he used to be. Like
he's still scoring goals.
He's still putting them in the back of the net and giving assists. So what do we speak?
And especially if we're talking in the realms of Portugal, there is nobody better equipped than that brother. People want to come and say Gonzalo or what's his name? Yeah, whatever his name is that came in and scored that hat trick. But at the end of the day, bro, that guy scored that hat trick, and then the next game, what he do? Ghost. Became Casper, just walking around the field. That's why you don't go off of moments like that and just be like, oh, here's a bonus. Here's a $100 million signing right here. You have to let these players go through the motions. And guess who is a prominent player that has gone through the motions and knows how to keep being consistent? Ronaldo. They benched that man for one time just because the man didn't score. If he doesn't score, Santos said, oh, let me take him off the field. That's not fair. That's what ended up happening. He went with the people in his ear saying that he should bench Ronaldo, and they ended up losing anyways. So, yeah, the script was messed up, and it's all Santos' fault. And then they went and got the next big thing, which was Mbappe and the boys from France. Simple as that.
All right, so let's move on to the next topics. Since we're already talking about a script here, I'm going to skip a couple questions. So we're going to go with this one. Who should win the Balon D'or? I'll let Oswald start with this one. Remember the script, bro. Remember the script.
I got to remember the script. You got jokes. But, well, the way FIFA does the Balon d'Or, it's a very funny way. I don't understand FIFA at times though, but there'll be a season where a player will have the best of seasons in the league and Champions League. They'll win the Balon d'Or, and the World Cup is right there during the summer. Or there'll be a season when a player wins the World Cup, and then Balon d'Or is right there for that player, and he doesn't have the best of season during the league and Champions League. Just, I don't know. FIFA,
just tell the truth, man.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. We all got to admit to it, though. Messi, easily.
No.
Best, one of the most influential player in World Cup history.
Probably my God.
I said
he doesn't even score past the
most inspirational player in World Cup history.
History is crazy, bro.
That's a brother.
He doesn't even score past the group round.
Listen, I'll say the best individual performance in World Cup history is Maradona, and then Messi's number 2.
So Zidane must be a roadman or something.
I give it to Ronaldo.
I guess Zidane, Ronaldo, and Platini they're just roadmen. They're just there.
Platini's never won a World Cup.
I don't care. He shined at the World Cup. That's why he won that.
He's never won. What is he doing?
He shined at the World Cup. That's why he got 4 Balon d'Ors. That's the point.
3.
So then you don't even mention Zidane or Ronaldo that was just mentioned. That's crazy.
But Messi definitely is one of the most influential players at the World Cup history.
At the World Cup,
he's up there with Ronaldo, Zidane, and
he doesn't score past the group stages like that.
Messi's definitely gonna win this Balon d'Or this year. I'm sorry. I mean, we all kind of know it. They just, in a way, they're just kind of giving it to him because it's sentimental, and it's probably his last season that he's, eligible to win any Balon d'Or.
It's all part of the script, bro. This is part of the script too.
I'm sorry, but he deserves it. He deserves it. The World Cup and everything. So he's won the World Cup, won Ligue 1, won Coupe de France.
Look at
no one really. I'm sorry, 3 trophies in 1 season, and he won Copa America this year.
I wholeheartedly disagree, Brad. I wholeheartedly disagree. Not only that he's eligible to even be in the top 3, but I actually think there are 2 people more deserving, and maybe even 3 people more deserving that he is than Messi. First off, the hardest job in football is to do what? Put the ball in the net. Who does that the best in the world at the moment? Erling Haaland. And you know how old that brother is? Ask Messi. Ask Messi, right? If he would have had the season that he had at that age, if they wouldn't have just gifted the Balon d'Or, bow-tied ribbon on top to him at that age for free, they wouldn't even have cared what anybody else was doing. Because it's Haaland, and he's this big guy, he doesn't have this same kind of attitude or demeanor that Messi has, or whatever the case may be. I don't know what factors are going into it. But for that guy to score that many goals and be as influential on his club team to that degree in his first season, at the age that he is, that young, that guy's a world beater, and he's honestly could still go to the under 23 World Cup if he wanted to. That is insane. And then he's breaking records that haven't been broken for years. At his age again, you're telling me that he doesn't deserve it over that guy? And Haaland has won every competition that he's been in. Let's make that very clear. In every competition that he was elected to be in, he has won. He'll never win the World Cup, and we know why. So that's literally unfair. That's ridiculously unfair. So if you judge it based off of them individually, it should be Haaland. Then I gotta actually give a shout to Kevin De Bruyne, man. Why is this man not in the conversation the way these other guys are in the conversation? You know how many assists that brother got? Injury prone. Messi be sitting out games in Paris like he playing for the LA Clippers like he's Kawhi Leonard or something, man. Like, he actually be benching games. He be walking the whole game. How is he going to get injured anyways? When you got Kevin De Bruyne that's making runs from his box all the way to the other box to score or assist, and the amount of assists and the amount of influence that he's had in that midfield, and the amount of trophies that he won and the records that he broke in this season as well in terms of assists, bro, that's the second hardest thing to do is to get assists. So if that team that he played on won everything, why isn't Haaland and De Bruyne the front runners for the Balon d'Or?
The script, that's
because
why.
It's a World Cup year. Because it's a World Cup year.
The World Cup and the Balon d'Or is a script that has been scripting for the longest time, man.
Yep.
Always has. And it's completely unfair, man, honestly. Like, I get it, but like the World Cup has its own award. It has the best player of the tournament. You're telling me Enzo right now, who's not in was he even in the top 30 for Balon d'Ors?
Who?
Enzo.
I don't think so.
We don't even know. And guess who won the young? Did he not win Young Player of the Tournament? So what is the criteria here, bruh? It's cap. It's all just messy and part of the script. The script is scripting. That's straight facts. So,
yeah, I mean,
Mr.
to Oswald's point, see the trend like is that there's a World Cup, they kind of do the criteria differently on the Balon D'Or.
Yeah.
But I would give it to Haaland just based on everything he accomplished this year. Like he won the treble, he won top scorer of the EPL, he broke
Top
the
scorer
all-time
Europe.
goal scoring record, top scorer in Champions League, top scorer in Europe. I mean, he broke every record that has to do with goal scoring, and then he won every award, basically every trophy that was available to him and his team. So I mean, they won the treble. I mean, usually in most years, Haaland would be a no-brainer, you know. But you know, a World Cup year, I guess there is that different criteria on the award. But I think something that also hurts Haaland is the fact that a lot of people do know that he's not actually. I mean, I wouldn't say he's actually the best player on his team, and that's the biggest problem. Whenever you have like another player that's maybe better than you or as good as you on the same team as you, then it hurts your chances to win major awards like the Balon D'Or because, I mean, I think that Kevin De Bruyne is a better player than Erling Haaland.
Oh yeah,
and it's not even. I don't even think it's really like a debate, honestly. But obviously, Haaland scored.
Let's okay. You're using that argument.
Was Messi better than Mbappe on PSG?
Please, please. I swear. If you say yes, man. I swear if you say yes, man.
It doesn't. He doesn't have to be better than Mbappe. He beat Mbappe in the World Cup final. PSG doesn't matter anymore. That's the thing. I'm just
his whole club side doesn't matter, bro. It's just the fact that he played 7 games or something like that.
Listen,
wow,
that's the
bro.
Criteria that's the criteria in World Cup years. But all I'm saying is that all I'm saying is that the fact that Haaland has De Bruyne on his team, who's probably going to finish in the top 3, is going to divide the votes for Haaland. That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. That's really the problem because De Bruyne's going to take votes away from Haaland because they were on the same team and they won the same trophies.
Another reason why it would, Balon d'Or would hurt a little bit of Haaland is because he's not really exciting to watch. He's not that exciting to watch.
I didn't know that was part of the criteria.
He's not. I'm just saying, like, hold on. Hear me out.
He's pretty exciting to watch, though.
No, hear me out. Most of the Balon d'Or winners, right? They've been exciting. They're skillful. They're fast. They can score. I know Haaland scores the best amongst all of them, but he's not like flashy. He's not flashy for us. They're like, oh, Haaland. I want to be like Haaland. He could dribble. He could.
Bro, this man finishes everything. He finishes everything that touches his feet. That's the most exciting thing about the sport of football.
No, he's playing.
I get what he's saying, bro.
He's playing on a team that literally possesses at least 70% per game, bro. He's averaging at least 70% of the ball.
What does PSG average?
I can guarantee you they don't average at least 70.
It's very high though, because they playing scrubs all day.
I can guarantee you they don't average up to 70.
And I promise you,
not like Man City.
Nobody possesses.
Not like Man City, obviously. Not like Man City, obviously. But the reason why you are emphasizing this point, because even though he's not flashy, bro, every player can't be like that, bro. And every player that's won in the past wasn't like that. That's number one.
Almost all of them.
Shevchenko literally won that judge,
He is more flashy than Haaland. He's a lot more flashy than Haaland.
If you say so. All I'm simply saying is you are being Messi dependent. You are actually Messi dependent. That's why you speak it like that. Everybody not about to be Twinkle Toes McGee tiptoeing around every defender to score, bro. And Messi don't even do that this year no more like that. Like he might do that in the MLS, but at PSG, bro, he took a minute to get started to what we were seeing. And anytime we did see it, it was just flashes. It wasn't that serious. And the Balon d'Or criteria is from a whole last year to the end of last year or whatever the criteria is. It's literally a whole year, bro. It's not just 7 games. So the twinkle toes that he was doing around those Saudi Arabia players where he ended up losing in anyways, it should be counted for that tournament. And it was. He won the best world player at the tournament. Enzo got the best young player. So now that we're at the big finale at the end of the year and we get to size up what everybody has won, what did he do after the World Cup? Except for get ready to go to the MLS. Okay. What did he do? Oh, okay. What did he do before the World Cup? Except for get ready for the World Cup.
They were playing really well. PSG were cooking.
Oh, he was cooking, right?
Yes, he was cooking.
So what was Haaland doing?
Haaland was cooking too.
What was Haaland doing after the World Cup?
After? Or
yes.
Okay, what was he doing during the World Cup?
No. What was Haaland doing?
That's my case. Nothing.
What was Haaland doing?
What was Haaland doing?
Answer the question first. I'll answer your question.
Okay, he was cooking.
He was what?
What was Haaland doing?
No, wait, hold on.
But see,
no. You said you were gonna.
I will answer your question.
What was Haaland doing during the World Cup?
I just want to clarify. You said he was cooking, right? Cool.
No, I said
during the World Cup, Haaland was at home because guess what? He plays for who? Norway.
Norway's not that bad. They are not that bad. They are not that bad.
Name six players on Norway, bro.
Odegaard, Hoyt,
not including Odegaard and Haaland, bro.
No. There's some decent players though. They have some decent players in there. I know they have some decent players in there.
Yeah, some decent players, bro, that you can't name.
That you can't name. So like,
come on,
bro.
Man.
I don't want to hear that, bro. And even during the World Cup that you're talking about, it was what a month. It was a month.
Yeah.
A month out of 12 months, bro. So you're telling me 11 out of 12 months, Haaland was straight frying. From the first game he stepped into the EPL, we're talking about his first season at 23 years old. He was frying for 11 straight months. And you talking about somebody that was frying for what? A month?
Okay.
You just confirmed it. He sucked after the World Cup. Before that, he was getting ready for the MLS. He barely even played like that.
He did play. He played okay. He played well according to other people's standards.
He played like Haaland. He played like Haaland.
Messi standards, it was not good.
He played to Haaland standards, bro.
If it was a different player, they would have said that was world class.
Did Messi play to Haaland standards after the World Cup?
What do you mean by standards? What is this?
Did he play good enough to be compared to Erling Haaland?
During the season?
About yes, after the World Cup.
If as an attacking mid in the attacking mid position, yes, he played up to standards in the attacking mid position.
And we all know on this live stream right now that is very much cap.
That is not cap. He's one of the top.
We were talking about Messi after the World Cup.
He was one of the top assistant players in Europe.
All right, bro.
That's what I gotta say. He's playing attacking mid. He's not a winger anymore. No.
Hey, Richie, were you talking about Messi after the World Cup?
Nah, bro.
Sam, were you talking about Messi after the World Cup?
Listen, everyone. Okay, only reason why we weren't talking about it is because Argentina, literally, everyone was high off that World Cup.
It just goes back to Argentina.
That's
it
all
just
I'm
goes
saying.
back to Argentina.
That's
my point.
Listen, everyone stopped caring about Messi after he won the World Cup. That's my point.
Because he wasn't relevant. Him and the rest of PSG were not relevant. The whole world
wanted to see Messi win the World Cup. He's already achieved everything available.
I didn't want to see him win the World Cup.
Well, he did. He did. I'm sorry, he did.
I'll just say this. In a World Cup year, they do use different criteria. I don't know what the parameters are for that, but we saw Luka Modric win in 2018 based off the World Cup.
Messi,
we all know that Luka
Messi
Modric
won that Balon d'Or that season. That was one of the best seasons ever that year, 2018.
Yeah, but I'm saying Luka Modric won because of the World Cup, his performance at the World Cup. In the World Cup years, they do it differently. That's all I know.
And who on here actually wanted Luka Modric to win?
Nobody.
Who on here actually okay? Then that's my
Only
point.
Croatians.
So I can sit here and call bias whenever it's actually being biased, because that's facts, bro. There's no reason why he should be winning it.
Your thing
There's
starts
no
with-
reason why he should be winning it if it's based off of the whole year. If it's so much of the criteria for you to win the World Cup, if it's so much of a criteria for you to win the World Cup and then you automatically win the Balon D'Or and you're the best player at the World Cup, why don't they just put that in the rules definitively and say that? Honestly.
Your lights are off, Toby.
Yeah, your
No, I'm
camera's
hip.
like dark, bro.
I'm hip.
I mean, listen.
Yeah, I mean,
If they had like the criteria stuff, the criteria nowadays are completely different. Like we all know the World Cup is the biggest tournament, possible, out there that a player can win, and it only happens once every 4 years. So that right there would sway the whole crowd and everyone to just focus on the World Cup and see who's going to win that World Cup, and whomever that best plays in that World Cup,
I guess
is potentially going to be in the Balon d'Or contention.
I guess there's just no tax on Haaland bringing a Champions League to Man City his first year. And
He is
Man
not.
City
but did Haaland really bring the Champions
Haaland
League?
doesn't.
Though?
It's not clutch.
Yes, he did.
He's not
I wouldn't
clutch.
say that. No. Look. I wouldn't say that. I would give it to Haaland, the Balon d'Or. I would give it to Haaland, but I wouldn't say he brought the Champions League to Man City.
So you're
Because
telling
if
me
you
I
look-
just
if you look-
Wasn't he the
if you look
top
at the
scorer in the
performance-
Champions League? Was he not the
Huh?
top scorer in the Champions League?
Okay, but look, if you look at the actual analysis when you really want to go into it,
Oh God!
Haaland didn't. No, this is the reality though. Haaland did not score or assist from the semifinal to the final.
Hmm.
He had no goal contributions.
And
They
you
won
know-
without him being relevant.
And
that's
you know
the-
how many times you see that? I love that point that you just made, right? Because guess what? It's based off of the whole tournament, right? Right. You guys just went on air saying that Messi is one of the most influential World Cup players of all time.
Yeah.
Before last World Cup, he didn't score past past the quarterfinals or even past the group stages, one of those two. But he was not scoring in those semifinals, no finals, no nothing. He was choking. In fact, he was missing penalties to get them out the tournament. So I don't sit here and downplay his influence to leading up to them being there. Because the question, if I was to ask y'all right now, if Haaland wasn't there, would they have won the treble?
We never know.
They could have.
They could
The
have.
answer is no. And y'all
I
know
think they
that.
could have.
They could have.
I think they
The
could
answer
have.
is no.
We
They
might,
could've.
bro. We might not have even won the Prem, bro.
Nah.
You won the Prep with no
Honestly.
striker. Are you mad?
Nah.
No, I'm talking about this year, bro.
Yo,
We're
you
talking about
won
this year.
The amount of goals that Haaland has had, bro. Arsenal
Y'all
were
would
right
have won
there.
those
bro.
games.
Y'all would have
bro.
won the
Sorry.
Prem, bro. Y'all
You-
won the Prem without
won
a striker. I'm sorry, you won the
Y'all
Prem
would've
without
won the
a striker. Like the
But
season
I'm
prior to
saying this
Haaland.
year,
Are you
Arsenal was
serious?
right there, bro.
Yeah, they were right there, but Arsenal is just Arsenal. Choke artists. Simple as that. Why are we surprised?
Look, I'll
Chelsea
say
or
this
Chelsea?
for the Balon d'Or question. I think that all the players, I think 4 players are deserving of the award. Mbappe, Messi, Haaland, or De Bruyne. If any 4 of those players win, I'll be
What about
okay with it.
Rodri? What about Rodri?
No.
He's up there.
Those
Rodri
4
deserves a
players-
shout too.
Rodri deserves a shout.
Nah.
Even the strike partner, Argentina striker. He's up there. Alvarez. He won the World Cup and the Champions
In fact,
League.
honestly,
He should be up
honestly,
there. He should be up there.
that is a great shout right there. Because why isn't Julian Alvarez getting a shout? He won the World
Yep.
Cup. In fact, no. In fact, he won
He's in the
every
nominee.
tournament.
Yeah.
So why
He's
is he
in the
in
nominee.
top
Last
3?
season, he's won 2 World Cups in the same season. I mean, Champions League in the same season.
Man, I wish Alvarez had the stats to back it up, bro. Because honestly, if
But
he
he-
had the
he
stats to
scored-
back
you
it
can't-
up,
He
if he
scored
had
like
the stats to
19
back it
goals in
up,
the league, though. I mean, not in the
No,
league,
but-
overall this season.
He scored a couple in the World Cup too.
I know, but that's
Yeah.
not the stats like compared to like a Messi if he had
and
like
also
credential stats,
and also like you kind of have to be like a starter. Like you can't be coming
man,
off
look
the
at this
bench
guy
and be winning the Balon D'or. That doesn't make sense.
You
at
can,
a
man.
at a 7 tournament game. Yes, you can.
You can, bro.
Nah.
At a
You
7
can.
tournament game,
If
yes,
you
you can.
if you
If
play,
Alvarez didn't score what he scored, Messi would have no World Cup right now.
yeah,
So yes, it matters. If they're right,
I'm
if
not
that
saying
right
it didn't
back,
matter. I'm just saying he shouldn't win it
no, I'm
because he
saying if
didn't
he had
start
the
for.
if he had the league stats, to me, if he had the league stats to back it up, at least the league stats in terms of goal involvements, I think he would have a better shout than Messi. In all honesty, even if Messi won the World Cup Best Player, right? If you look at the goals that Alvarez scored, and then you combine that with what he would have done for the club he won everything. And then if he would have had the stats to back it up at club level, let's say he actually scored like 24 goals or, around 30, something like that, 24,
yeah.
25, right? And he had like 15 assists and he won the World Cup. He scored in, I think he scored in like I think he scored in the semis. Did he score in the final too? Yeah.
No,
He scored.
he scored in the semis though.
He scored in the semis.
Scored twice
Okay.
in the semis.
I think he scored
Look
3
at that.
goals in the World Cup.
I think he scored like 3 or 4 goals, right? You look at the goals he scored in the World Cup. He won the World Cup, did the treble. He would have a better shot than Messi than me off of that criteria. Yeah. Because what did Messi do the whole year? You're telling me a World Cup winner that scored 4 goals in the World Cup, and then he actually won the treble and was a big player for his club and having 50 goal involvements, doesn't deserve the Balon d'Or over a guy that dominated a 7-game series?
But this is the thing. If he scored and assisted that much, and then with Haaland scoring as much as he scored, it gets downplayed because the fact is you're playing on a stacked team with players that have all these stats. It makes your stats look less valuable because you have, okay, Alvarez would have scored 20, 30 goals, but Haaland has 50, 60 goals and De Bruyne has 20 to 25 assists. Like your stats don't look that great.
Nah, they still look that great, bro. Because at the end of the day, I personally think Haaland is far and beyond should be a no-brainer for this year. Personally. Because that whole World Cup bias, I think that's foolishness because it needs to be clarified. If that's such a big determinant of who's going to win the Ballon d'Or at any given year, then people should be made aware of that. That should be clarified in the rules and requirements, point blank period. I think he's clear. So even if it was De Bruyne in there as well, even if it was Julian Alvarez and they had those type of stats, I think outright them 3 should be up and beyond Messi. If we're looking at the totality of the whole year,
that takes me back to my point though. The fact that they play on the same team is going to divide their vote.
I wouldn't care who won though. I wouldn't care who wins. I'm just saying those Man City. I wouldn't care who would win.
Their own, like a sole player on their own that has a credible claim to the Balon d'Or is going to get more votes than 3 players that are on the same team that are going to split votes between them. Right. Even Mbappe would get a higher claim because you would have Alvarez going to take votes from Haaland. De Bruyne's going to take votes from Haaland. You can have people like Mbappe and Messi who are not going to have their votes divided by anybody because they're looking for those 2 players. They're looking at the World Cup. They're not looking at club.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's facts. Cool. He's not lying though. That's facts.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next topic though. Is Jude Bellingham the best midfielder in the world currently? I'll let Toby start.
Man, look, I have love for Bellingham, man. I have love for the man. You feel me? He's a man done. I love the black people. I love when black people do well. And honestly, in future time, he's going to be one of the best midfielders that we've ever seen play for England. That's number 1. Okay. With that being said, at the current moment, this is a ridiculous question, fam. This is an absolutely madness of a question. There's no way, because he's scoring the goals that he's scoring at Real Madrid, noticeably, basically playing striker for him. So he's supposed to score. I don't want to hear no. Yeah, I don't want to hear no. Oh, he's
playing mid.
He's playing midfield, deep line role like he's playing Tony Cruz or something. He's legit there to score the goals for them this season. Him and Vinicius and Rodrigo. So with that being said, he's performing how he's supposed to perform. He went for 105 million pounds. That is not easy money. You should be able to do everything that is required with the ball. So him scoring some tap-ins and, you know, a couple finishes and nice dribbling here and there, he is a world-class player. But there are people like Kevin De Bruyne, when they pass the ball, you will sit here and be looking at the spin of the ball like, how did he do that? There are people that we're discussing right now, like Haaland, even on his team. He's probably like the third, fourth, fifth or fifth best player. Modric is better than him. Vinicius is better than him. And then arguably you could argue a lot of other people on that team is either better than him or he's better than them. On form, he might be the guy right now, but like to bring up this question and say, oh, he is outright the best midfielder in the world is insane. This is the same nonsense people were doing with Marcus Rashford, and that brother didn't even make the top 30 Balon D'or list. How does that happen? Because people know the truth. People know the truth.
But Vinny didn't make the top 15 of the best awards. So that I don't think that means anything, bro. Honestly.
Who cares?
Top 15?
Nope.
Who cares? He's top 30 though, right?
No, he's not top 15. For the FIFA the best awards.
Oh, you talking about but that one, the criteria for that is a little bit different. You talking about the Balon D'Or.
Vinicius is still probably the top 5 player in the world last season.
Yeah, but that's
my point is those nominations are not they're not anything to write home about, bro. They're really not. They literally be iffy.
I don't know. If we're just simply talking about like specific awards, like the best awards that you're bringing up, like that's a UEFA award. Like they're gonna give it to people who are winning the Champions League or something close to that, anyways. Haaland will win that disrespectfully. You feel me? Given. Mm-hmm. But when we're just trying to gauge in general who's the best players, like the midfielder, this and this, you know, most of those names are in there. They're gonna come up every single time. Maybe Vinicius might have missed it this year because in totality he might have not won the joint, and that's cool. But we're talking about on that team in terms of Real Madrid and Jude Bellingham being the best midfielder in the world. Come on, man. Valverde can still give that brother a run for his money, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tuchemani's there. Yeah. Camavinga's there. Should I keep going? Tony Cruz is there. These are just midfielders. So why are we sitting here saying he's the best midfielder in the world?
Yeah, Bellingham's he's not even close to being the best midfielder in the world, honestly. He might get there one day. He might get there one day.
He could,
but he's not there. There are still several midfielders that you would put above.
Mandem is still bumping shoulders with Declan Rice, fam. I don't even want to hear it, man. Yeah, I said it.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that.
Declan Rice.
Declan sneaking Declan Rice like we wouldn't notice.
Sneak it in there.
Declan Rice. Okay, you want me to stay facts? Declan Rice, what did he do last year?
Won the UEFA
as a captain for a team that's literally not boasted by a bunch of world star players around him. What does he do? Stand out. Right?
Yeah, he's good.
So no, let me finish. So not only was he the captain, he also plays every game ahead of Bellingham in the England squad. A stalemate in the England squad before Bellingham. I want that to be known. Mm-hmm. Declan Rice starts in that England squad before Bellingham. That's number one. Number two, last year at West Ham, he captained that side to a European final and won in their history. And he's playing with people like freaking what's Agbana as the center back. With like Mandem is playing with bums, bro. And you're telling me
They're playing in the
telling me
Conference League. Let's be
They're
fair.
playing- yeah.
it don't matter. He's
They're
playing
a big
on a
team. They're a big team in the Conference League.
they're
Yeah,
a big team to what?
In the
they should
Conference
win the
League.
Conference League easily, bro.
They're a big team to
Like
what, bro?
the Conference League has
Weren't they
teams,
the
like,
highest
that are
wage
from,
team?
like,
Like they had the highest wages in that
Turkey
Conference
and
League last season.
Switzerland.
You're talking about wages like it's not an
And I'm
England
no,
team.
but I'm saying like
you can't even name 6. In fact, just name me one other player, right, that would start for Borussia Dortmund's team outside of name me two other players outside of Declan Rice and Bowen, maybe that would
what's his
start
name?
at Borussia Dortmund, bro.
That would start. What's his name?
Even at Borussia Dortmund.
Fabianski could start.
The who?
Fabianski.
And he's naming the
Areola.
goalkeeper.
Areola. You said
Thank you. He's naming 2 goalkeepers.
No. So Socek could start. Defensive midfielder.
Hell no.
He was Hammock Player of the Season like 2 years ago.
No, he would not start.
Yes,
he would not start for a Champions League team as Borussia Dortmund. No, he wouldn't.
Yes,
he doesn't even start on West Ham like that, bro.
Not this season,
But
They
it doesn't even matter though, because West Ham is still an overpowered team in the Conference League, though.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yes,
They are.
They are,
yes,
bro.
they are.
The Conference League, they are.
Yes, they are.
They're right where they need to be, is my point. All I'm saying is
West Ham's level is like Europa League.
Yeah, at best.
Conference League is a step down where you have like
unknowns.
Random teams in that joint, like teams that you probably don't even know. Like you don't know the names of those teams.
whatever y'all want to do to downplay the fact that he led his team, because
But
many teams
let's not forget. Declan Rice is like 4 years older than him. He's been around a lot longer.
So what? What does that mean?
So it makes a big difference. 4 years of experience. In about 4 years, we're saying Bellingham is the best midfielder in the world.
So what, bro? I'm not. So what? I still feel like Bellingham has a long way to go before even in 4 years. I don't even know about that one. But I'm simply saying that brother at this current moment is still bumping shoulders with Declan Rice. That's who he should be talking to with.
I'll give him 2 years, bro.
And now that Declan Rice is on a squad, where he's at least around some B+, A+, A-, at least some type of range of players that aren't lower than B-, he can actually start to show a prominence in his game more than he already does. He's already one of the best center defensive midfielders in the world. So when you come and sit here, you analyzing the people that Jude Bellingham should be compared to. It should be people like Declan Rice, bro. Not no people like Luka Modric. Like, that's crazy. For you to come and say that he's better than Luka Modric or something like that.
Listen, there's a thing, right? There's this thing that just happens whenever this is hype that comes with a player whenever they play for a big team like Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United, Bayern. There's always that extra hype, especially with Barcelona and Madrid. There's always going to be an extra hype, no matter what, no matter how much you perform. I don't think there's any player below 75 or something in Barcelona or Real Madrid squad. Like in FIFA ratings.
Yes, there are, bro.
Like in the first team?
Not in the starting 11, obviously.
I said first, I didn't say starting 11, the first team. I don't see that. I can't see that. 75 below. Even the goalkeepers have barely played. I don't think they'll be up to below 75.
It's questionable. But you're just pointing out the fact that stamp right there is there. That hype right there is there.
Level.
And that's really all the hype. That's really all hype, bro. And I'm being honest with you.
They're known for winning. The hype comes with responsibility.
I just named 4 other midfielders on that team that can give Jude Bellingham a run for his money on his team, right?
I understand that.
I haven't even started naming all the people that play for the English Premier League, bro. Rodri's still there. Kevin De Bruyne is still there. I could keep going. That's my point. So when we're sitting here and we're trying to call this guy the outright best midfielder in the world, I have to be realistic. And to me, Jude Bellingham was just playing at Borussia Dortmund last year, and even though he was the breakout star, I'm comparing him to people like Declan Rice. And I'm like, wasn't Declan Rice the breakout star for West Ham for the last 3 years?
4 or 5 years.
Does he not have one of the best efficiencies in terms of a center defensive midfielder in the world? So you're telling me if Declan Rice would have got a 120 million pound move to Real Madrid and he scored 2-3 goals because of Real Madrid hype, we should not be calling him the best midfielder in the world? The answer is no. So why would I do that for Bellingham? Okay. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Nah, you just said something. It just crossed my mind. I just forgot. You said that.
That's all I'm saying, bro. I don't think.
Oh, also with transfers, you know how it is with transfers. They pay more for the younger guys. So
the main point is that Bellingham is not the best midfielder.
He's not the best. He's not.
There's several midfielders that are still.
But at the moment,
man, just hating on Declan Rice, bro.
I'm not hating.
No, not you, Sam. Sam's just hating on Declan Rice, man.
Well, I'm not hating on Declan Rice.
Listen, the best midfielder in the past 5 years has been Kevin De Bruyne, easily, in my opinion. Modric is like right there. They're like, neck and neck. But I prefer Kevin De Bruyne over any of them.
So now that we got that settled, let's move on to our final topic. Is Onana a top 5 goalkeeper in the world? And did Manchester United make a mistake by selling De Gea? Funny question coming off, last Champions League game, but we're gonna let you answer the question.
Yeah.
Oh, na.
Go ahead, Sam. Go ahead, Sam.
You said me?
Yeah.
Oh, he's not a top 5 goalkeeper in the world. I think that you did make a mistake selling De Gea, because De Gea he's better than Onana. I think they were trying to go probably for the younger route, trying to get a younger keeper, and then obviously Ten Hag is one of those coaches that likes to play like that systematic type of play. So he likes keepers to be a certain way, good at playing the ball, good at passing and stuff like that, technical. So I think Ten Hag is trying to go with something different, but nah, man. Onana, yeah, I mean, he's not terrible, but he's definitely not De Gea. Like they dropped the ball on that one for sure. I think. Yeah, I give Onana probably top 10, top 15, but top 5 that's insane. Top 5 is insane.
All right, Oswald, what do you think?
Balon d'Or nominee.
Oh my.
2022, 2023. That's all I gotta say. Balon d'Or nominee 2022, 2023. How many keepers are in that Balon d'Or nominee?
No.
Not that many.
I don't know, bro.
Hold on. Not that many. Balon d'Or nominee. He won the Coppa Italia. They finished 3rd in the Serie A. He won to the Champions League final. They could have had a treble. They could have had a treble season. I'm sorry, but
they could have.
I'm sorry, but Inter Milan's defense is far better than Manchester United any day. I would take that.
He's even proving a point.
Defense has to do with his goalkeeping ability.
Let me finish. So you need solid defenders in front of you so you can actually thrive. You will look good on the field. I'm sorry. But Man United at the moment is garbage. Not garbage, garbage. They're horrible. They stink.
Did his defenders drop the ball for him?
It happens, man. It happens. It happens to the best of them. Every keeper has done mistakes.
But the amount of mistakes he is making in these past couple
in this season
played for Manchester
United,
it's a lot.
He's only had one mistake.
No, he hasn't had one mistake. What are you talking about?
He's had 2 mistakes this season.
Hey,
he's had 2 mistakes, cool, but he's had plenty of chances that he missed that he should have saved.
Bro, no, it's only 2. He had 2 mistakes.
First game, this man got chipped from 50 yards. That's the first game.
It was the defender's fault. It was the defender's fault. And hold on, no, listen. That's the same way Man City plays, though. The key Ederson is so high up off his goal line that when they have the ball, he doesn't really have to look back behind the goal. That's what Man United is trying to implement right now. I'm sorry, but they're really trying to do that. Ten Hag is doing the same thing, but he has players like Johnny Evans. Why?
Johnny Evans don't play every game. He don't even play that.
No.
He don't even play
Johnny
games
Evans
like
is on
that.
that roster, though. Johnny Evans is on that roster. Harry
Yeah,
Maguire.
it's not on Johnny Evans.
Harry Maguire. Are you serious? Harry Maguire? What?
You don't even be playing like that.
Prone. Luke Shaw. Injury prone Luke Shaw. What is he doing?
We're talking about this man as a goalkeeper.
No. I'm just saying. Look at the players that you're playing with.
So how is that?
No, but look, hold on. Look at the players that you're playing with.
He's not playing.
Hold on. Onana won golden gloves in the Champions League last season. Did he not?
De Gea won golden
in the Champions League. I said in the Champions League. I didn't say anything about Prem. I said Champions League.
Champions League is less than the Premier League.
Man, let's put this to rest, bro.
But I'm sorry, but he's
come on.
I mean, at the moment he's playing really bad, but in terms of overall, like from last season as a goalkeeper, he should be up there, easily top 3. Yeah.
Oh my God!
You're going to top 3 now?
We're talking about top 5. Top 3.
Yes, easily top 3. Easily. Based off last season for Balon d'Or, yeah, he deserves it. He deserves it.
Bro. This is the part where you get cooked because.
All right, go ahead.
I'm sorry to tell you this, bro. Onana, bro, he's a nah, bro. He's not. he's cuttery, bro. That man's a walking klutz. See, the whole point of a goalkeeper, is to save the ball from the net. And when you look at how horrible this guy's IQ is as a goalkeeper, I'm not talking about as playing with his feet, thinking he's one of the midfield players. And honestly, what are we really sizing? Because if I'm being honest with you, even though a lot of goalkeepers can't pass with the ball, bro, you literally kick the ball all day. Just because he can make a couple of passes. And at the end of the day, he's a goalkeeper. He sticks between those two lines that tell him, oh, the ball cannot go past this way. This man, Onana, makes the worst mistakes I've ever seen. And when you look at him critically, look at his positioning, look at all the faults that he does, he's dang right to come out recently and say, dang, this is my fault. Because you know what? It is your busted fault. That guy is not tough at all. And for them to sell De Gea and switch a Golden Glove winner that can save any... Oh, bro, honestly, De Gea can save shots like crazy.
Yeah, wow.
So when you... I don't know. So when you sit here...
last season, even if he won Golden Gloves, he was still garbage last season.
When you sit here and analyze the fact that De Gea saved this team called Manchester United for the countless number of years and with their outright best player, and you come and just switch up a guy because he has fancy footwork, the critical part about that is that he can't save the ball. And I know you're his countryman. I get it. You have to fight for your Cameroon brother, but your Cameroon brother is failing you because the guy cannot position himself to save the ball. Declan Rice goal, it was his mistake. Him getting chipped, it was his mistake. Him letting the ball go under his hand like that, it was a mistake. His positioning on a lot of goals this season was a mistake. 14 goals in 5 games. Probably a high record. And I want to bring up another thing as well, because I found it crazy. This guy wasn't even in the league. He wasn't even playing for somebody a couple years ago, because guess what? He was banned. So now that we have this guy, he has one season. He has one season. I'm saying he's rusty because he has one season. And he has one season in Serie A where he's playing behind a defensive...
Two seasons. 2.5 seasons.
Let me finish talking, bro. Let me finish talking. He has one season in the Serie A where he's actually had a decent year. And the crazy thing about that decent year, you can still find an intercompilation of his mistakes on YouTube. And that to you is his best year. So you're telling me you got this guy that's mistake prone coming in to replace a Golden Glove winner, and you're telling me he's letting in 14 goals in 5 games, and you're applauding him, saying he should be top 3 goalkeepers in the world? Are you all right? Yeah, that brother should be nowhere near even top 10. And anything he's in the top 15, top 20 bracket, because I told y'all, the people don't know, but the group chat, they know. I named a good 10 of goalkeepers right now that are better than him. So you're telling me in 3 weeks' time, he's not even, and you're even compounding it and saying he's top 3 now. In 3 weeks' time, from now to before, he's not even in the top 5 no more. I can name you 10 goalkeepers right now that are better than him off the top of my head, and you won't even disagree with any of them.
Tell me. Go ahead.
Okay,
Enlighten
cool.
me.
Ter Stegen.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Keep going.
No, I want you to say yes or no.
Keep going. No, name the 10. Name the 10.
You said
name
top 3. You said
name
top 3.
The 10. Name the 10.
I want you to confirm yes or no. You said top
name
3.
The 10. Okay, last season?
It's
last season?
Is he? You said he's top 3 right now. You just said that.
No, I said from last season, based off last season, yeah.
Ter Stegen.
From last season?
I'm asking you yes or no, bro.
Based off last season, he's up there, yes.
Is Ter Stegen a better goalkeeper than Onana? Let's just keep the question straightforward.
Based off last season? Yes, or just in general, or just last season, or what?
Is he a better goalkeeper than Onana?
Based off last season?
Last season till now.
Was 3 weeks ago.
Last season?
Even if we do last season from now, right? Let's do last season to now.
Oh, Ter Stegen did have a record, though. He did have a better season defensively.
Yeah.
Bro, is Ter Stegen better?
He did have a record.
Cool. Next. Is Courtois better?
Yes. I don't like Courtois, but he's Courtois is number 1, but
Courtois is number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is Mugnain, is he better? Magnin, France. Magnon, is he better?
No.
Allison.
No.
Allison isn't better?
Of last season? We're talking now. I'm saying if we're going based off last season, like I said, none of them,
bro.
Only people last season and now. Come on. You
just say yes or no. What are we talking about? Last season was literally 3 weeks ago, bro.
All I'm gonna say is this, man. This guy is in the Balon d'Or contention.
Bro, we're not even done yet, bro.
I rest my case.
Is Edison better? Is Edison better?
I rest my case. He's in Balon d'Or contention. I rest my case.
That's it.
That's it. Listen, he's top 30. He's in the top 30.
We'll leave it at that, bro.
Top 30. He's in the top 30 goalkeepers.
No, Balon d'Or players.
He said this guy's top 3, bro.
In goalies from last season, he's up there. They had one of the best records in the Champions League ever in terms of like clean sheets. Yeah.
We'll leave it at that, man. You just said Allison isn't better than Onana.
No.
I just want you to know that.
Last season,
Ederson isn't better than Onana?
Ederson, based off last season, they did not have a better season as a goalie.
All right, thank you, everybody. This is
as a goalie. Last season, they did not have a better season. They did not have a better season.
It's cool, bro. It's cool. We're gonna leave it at that.
They did not.
We're gonna leave it at that.
Yep.
We're gonna let the world decide that one, bro.
Yep. Let them decide. They did not have a better season than him. As a goalie. I didn't say as a team, but individually as a goalie, he did not have a better season.
That's cool, bro.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up right there. I want to give many thanks to our viewers and the crew for their input today. Please drop us a follow on TikTok and Instagram under the name The Offside Zone. Also, please subscribe if you haven't already. In the comments, please let us know if you guys think Onana is a top 3 goalkeeper in the world right now.
Last season. Last season.
And as always, everyone, please stay safe, stay blessed, and see you guys in the next video. Top 3.
Based off last season.